How to best navigate Scorpio season. Hi and welcome. I am your astrologer Core from Core Astrology. Thank you for your support, and to new viewers, welcome and thank you for joining. This video will look at the astrology of the upcoming Scorpio season from the 23rd of October to the 21st of November. I intend to inspire, educate, and entertain you with the best way to navigate the Scorpio season. I will be discussing critical astrological events such as important aspects that the sun experiences on its journey through the constellation of Scorpio, planetary ingresses and insights to the new and full moons, the waxing and waning periods, and how best to navigate these cosmic energies. Please stay on to the end of the video, as I will be giving predictions for all 12 sun signs. The timestamps for this will be in the description below. If you are new here and enjoy my video, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to not miss out on any future videos. So let's jump into it. Firstly, happy birthday to all the Scorpio suns. May the stars hold great light for you and shower you with abundance. And may you regenerate and transform and find your inner strength and power, just like the phoenix that arises from the ashes in this new year ahead for you. The moon is at a waning phase as the sun ingresses into Scorpio on the 23rd of October. The waning phase is always about things coming to an end, completing, reducing. Not the best time to be starting something new. Scorpio represents desire, power, perception, secrets, sexuality, control, and even being a catalyst. I think of icebergs, which are 9/10 under the surface with only 1/10 visible. And so too with Scorpios, I find they are such deep characters that we always realize that there's so much more to them than what meets the eye. As a water sign, Scorpio seeks emotional security through the desire to connect with others. And as a fixed sign, Scorpio displays fixed emotions such as, I love you no matter what you do, and I will never let go of this bond. Emotional consistency and rigidity with emotional connections are how Scorpios build their dynamic network of friends and family. The idea is to look after one's gene pool if resources are shrinking. Fixed sign Scorpios are reliable, consistent, enduring, can go the distance, and like to maintain power. If your sun sign is Scorpio, you may find a lot of benefit from relationships. If your moon sign is Scorpio, you may be more reserved and shy, possibly a little bit controlling, or very sensitive, oversensitive, overreactive. However, really enjoying research and wanting to get to the bottom of things. I think of Nelson Mandela's chart. Here we have a chart with the moon in Scorpio. It is the chart of Nelson Mandela, and we can see that the moon is in the 12th house, which is the natural significator of jails. And we know that Madiba almost spent 3 decades in jail. What we also know is that he used this time resourcefully to do research, and he completed his law degree as well as studying the language of his oppressors, which was Afrikaans, so that he could understand the prison wardens better and actually communicate with them, and even manage to communicate with his enemies, the very same people who put him into jail. Madiba used this time with his moon in the 12th house. The moon represents family and home, and the jail was a big part of Nelson Mandela's home time. It was his home for 26 years. Also, this fixedness of the Scorpio shows us in his chart how he remained loyal to his fellow countrymen, and he remained loyal to abolishing apartheid. With this enduring fixed moon, he could control and be a catalyst and endure the hardships of so many years in jail, because there was a cause for him. It was his family, and this is where he was enduring and going the distance for his cause. If your ascendant is in Scorpio, you may come across as quite remote, intense, maybe reticent, like an observer who feels somewhat detached from what is happening around you. And your dress sense might be quite subdued as well, with colors that aren't too bright. Let's look at some Hollywood superstars that are Scorpio. Hathaway is a Scorpio sun, but she has Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury also in Scorpio. And this is what gives her this little X factor and sex appeal. Lisa Bonet also has a sun in Scorpio, which is Cazimi Neptune, which gives her this lovely, dreamy, and fantastical vibe around her. Leonardo DiCaprio is also a Scorpio sun. He has Mars in Scorpio, as well as the Sun and Venus in Scorpio, which also gives him this dynamic magnetism. The most Scorpionic famous star that I've come across is, of course, Katy Perry, because not only does she have her sun, but her moon and also her ascendant are all in Scorpio, as well as Mercury and Saturn. Julia Roberts also has her sun in Scorpio. Her moon is in Leo and it rules her ascendant, which is Cancer, thus that beautiful name that she has. Matthew McConaughey has his sun and Mercury in Scorpio. Let's look to Mars, because Mars is the planetary ruler of the sign of Scorpio. Mars is known as the lesser malefic, and it rules the day Tuesday in the week. On the higher octave, Mars rules drive, action, desire, passion, lust, penetration, the penis, young males, sexuality, sensuality, activity, urgency, vigor, virility, heat. That's why bakeries also are symbolized by Mars. Athletes, physical and muscular strength, ambition, sharp objects such as scissors or machines. And on the lower octave, Mars represents anger, aggression, arguments, conflicts, wars, arrows, assaults, battles, attacks, violence, intolerance, and rage and thieves. Mars is in the sign of Libra until the 30th of October. When Mars is in the sign of Libra, it can react quite bombastically or ruthlessly, sometimes even destructive. It experiences a lot of passive aggressiveness because Mars wants to move forward and go for what it wants, while Libra's considering other people. And the blend of Libra wanting peace and Mars wanting to fight forward often causes these situations where Mars feels uncomfortable and can cause disharmony around it. On the 30th of October, Mars moves into Scorpio, where it is dignified and dynamic, assertive, powerful. Pretty much think Oprah Winfrey or think Trevor Noah. Both of them have Mars in Scorpio. Mars loves to fight and move forward and have a lot of drive and passion. And Scorpio, the sign, is equally as passionate and intense. So when the two of them meet, Mars in Scorpio, a lot of forward movement occurs and Mars is really amplified. The new moon in Scorpio occurs on the 4th of November. This is the beginning of the new waxing phase of the moon. So if there's anything that you want to create in your life that you would like to have more of, do it after the 4th of November, because then it will grow and increase as a project in your life. On the new moon, we have the sun, moon, and Mars are all conjunct in Scorpio, opposing Uranus in Taurus. What this means is that both Taurus and Scorpio are very fixed signs, and this new moon's intentions will be to have a look at what changes can be made so that you can go ahead to be more assertive and dynamic in your way forward. On the same day that Mars moves into Scorpio, the sun in Scorpio also squares Saturn. This is a fantastic time to cement your new plans for longevity, reliability, authority, and structures that require discipline will be falling into place when the sun squares Saturn. On the 5th of November, Venus moves into Capricorn and Mercury into Scorpio. On the 13th of November, the Sun trines Neptune, while Mars and Mercury oppose Uranus. With Mars and Mercury opposing Uranus on the 13th of November, we'd realize that there's still change to be made. However, with the Sun trining Neptune, we can really focus on our dreams, the ideal way of living that is filled with unconditional love and peace and dreams and illusions and fantasies, and filled with imagination and inspiration and also instinct. Neptune is almost a connection to the source. And when the Sun trines Neptune, we really have fantastic insight into our evolution and how to move forward. And it will demand some changes because Mars and Mercury are opposite Uranus. However, it is really the perfect time to visualize your most ideal upgraded version of yourself. This is the 13th of November. On the 16th of November, the Sun squares Jupiter, which is a time for expansion. And on the 17th of November, the Sun sextiles Pluto, allowing for a huge amount of transformation and empowerment. On the 19th of November, we have the full moon in Taurus, and this is a partial lunar eclipse, as the nodes are within 4 degrees of this full moon, indicating that we now are in eclipse season, and this is when more profound changes and synchronicities occur. And on the 22nd, 23rd of November, depending on where in the world you live, the Sun then moves into the sign of Sagittarius. Welcome to the predictions for all 12 signs of the zodiac for the Scorpio season, 23rd of October to 21st of November. When you are looking to interpret your own chart, have a look to the sign that is your ascendant, because that's the most predominant, your interactions with your immediate environment. Then have a look at your sun sign, which is the outward yang expression of how you radiate and shine out into the world. And then for your moon sign, that is more related to your receptive yin, reflective, internalized, subjective, reactive expression of home life, family, mothering, and nurturing influences. So I'm going to be using Jofra Boschart's Art, the Zodiac series, as I go through all of the different signs. So let me begin with Aries. Dear Aries, for you, the Sun has been going through an area in your chart up until the 23rd of October that was very much based on relationships and partnerships. And as of the 23rd of October, as the Sun moves into Scorpio up until the 21st, 22nd of November, the focus is more on resources in general. What resource are you spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically to others? And equally so, what can you receive of these physical, emotional, spiritual, financial resources from others? What is your self-worth in lines to what you can receive from others, and vice versa? There's a lot of focus on the situation, which can sometimes make you feel a little bit out of control, because when we rely on others for resources, we can feel quite vulnerable. This could be matters related to debt or taxes or inheritances, investments. The focus is on resources coming into you and what it is that you can provide for others so that you receive these resources. Hopefully an increase in salary, that would be great. And it may also relate to your anxieties or fears in terms of, is your self-esteem good enough to receive what it is that the other person offers to you? Now, this is on the back of the background of the Saturn-Uranus square, which has been occurring since 17th of February. We had the first square off in the heavens, and then again on the 14th of June. And the last square will be in December, on the 24th of December. And Saturn-Uranus square for all Aries is occurring in a situation that relates to your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your finances, and how society at large can assist you with this. This could be an income that you're receiving. This could be love or appreciation that you receive from others. And it's the group of people that you work with, and it's your hopes and ideals that you have that are constantly being tested, because Uranus is saying it's time for you to become a lot more independent in terms of matters related to your finances and your self-esteem. And with that, having to integrate this into society and change matters is the greater theme of the year for you. On the 30th of October, Mars is moving into Scorpio, and the Sun is squaring Saturn. So for you, this is occurring again between the area in your chart that relates to resources from other people and what your hopes and dreams are. So this could be a time that you cementing or embedding something that could have longevity, that could supply a new way of structure and authority about how it is that you'll be going around being a resource for others and receiving resources from others. On the 4th of November, then we have the new moon, which has Mars, Sun, and the moon all in an area related to your resources that you receive from others. And the new moon is beckoning for great change regarding your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-worth, and your own finances. There'll be the sense of, I need to break free from old ways and restricting financial means, and a sense that there might be more independence and freedom in changes related to how you can be a resource to others and what resources are available to you. And then on the 19th of November, when we have the partial lunar eclipse, the moon is in Taurus, close to this Uranus, in an area related to your finances and how you save money and the things that you possess and own, indicating the changes that are required so that the resources can flow in better, or that you can be more authentic in how you are a financial, emotional, spiritual, and physical resource to others. For all Taurians, the shift after the 23rd of October is shifting from your day-to-day routine and health matters and how you can be of service to other people to relationships, partnerships, business partnership, marriage partnership, romantic partnerships or relationships are the focus for you during the Scorpio season. You have an ongoing square between Saturn and Uranus since the 17th of February. We had the first square off in the skies again on the 14th of June, and we'll have one more square off on the 24th of December. And for you, dear Taurians, this is happening in an area of your life that relates to your career, your vocation, and how you shine out in the world. And there's a sense that being more disciplined, reliable, being an authority in what it is that you do, being stable and organized and hardworking is a way that will change your persona and your physical being in a big way. It's time for you to become more independent, more freedom loving, more innovative and unique, and a bit of a maverick in terms of how you do things. Change and break away from the old ways and do something that inspires you to be excited and to do something that is just innovative and new. And this will adjust whatever changes you've experienced in your status in the world, in your reputation, and how you perceive to act out into the world in a manner that you believe is your highest form of success for you. On the 30th of November, when Mars moves into Scorpio, the activation of phenomenally strong and powerful and dynamic relationships kick into place. The Sun also squares Saturn on that day, the 30th of November. And this is a fantastic time to cement in commitments around partnerships that can elevate your career for you. It's a very dynamic and powerful time for you to create what it is that you would like to have in your life through partnerships. A partnership may arise that allows you to become more of an authority in what it is that you do, perhaps elevate your status and give you more assertion and the sense of courage to move forward in these changes that you want to make. Then on the 4th of November, for dear Taurians, the new moon is happening in the area of your life that has everything to do with partnerships and relationships. So it could be that in this time you reassess your relationship and how it is that you, wanting to be as an individual more freedom loving and innovative and pioneering in a sort of great awakening way, where you can have innovative thoughts and be a bit of a maverick and do things in a more unusual way. So kind of like a surprise to yourself, that you'll suddenly realize there's a partnership available to me that's very powerful and that can allow me to become a lot more free. And then on the full moon, which is a partial lunar eclipse, which is on the 19th of November, the moon highlights this yearning for you to break free and to be independent and do something innovative and something new through a partnership, or breaking away from a partnership so that you can become more independent. So it could either be a partnership that allows you more freedom, or it could be a new partnership that arrives, or an old one that has to go so that you become more independent. The focus is on relationships for you, dear Taurians. Gemini. For the Geminis, the focus falls away from all the fun that you had in Libra season to an area in your life that relates more to health, disease, overworking, how you are of service to the greater community, and what your day-to-day routine looks like. So this is a fantastic time to you possibly to do blood tests and just check up on your health, make sure is your day-to-day routine as good as it could be. The focus is more on how is it that when you are of service to other people, you may be doing something that's detrimental to your health, and to plan this in a better way. And for you, dear Gemini, the Saturn square Uranus transits that are happening this year, which started off on the 17th of February, and there was another one on the 14th of June, and the last one that happens on the 24th of December, is happening in an area that relates to spirituality, working from behind the scenes, self-renouncing the world so that you can become more connected to spirit or God or the angels and the divine, the non-material, your imagination, your inspiration, research, wanting to be spending some time on your own, or spending time more with spirit or soul, is really where it's at for you. And it is all about opening up to new teachings, or this could be receiving them or giving them, philosophies, religions. The spiritual and foreign matters is very much publishing, are very much circumstances that are creating change in your life, endings, letting go of something and a lifestyle that you've been used to as part of a new belief system that you have, is, for instance, an example. On the 30th of November, when Mars goes into Scorpio, it is doing this in this area of your life where you want to make these changes and be more assertive and dynamic and empowered and fearless to go ahead and do what will give you a lot more power in terms of your health, your day-to-day routine, as well as how you are of service to others. And it is on this 30th of November, that few days before and after, but specifically on the 30th of November, that you may have an opportunity to connect either with foreigners or a new religion or spirituality or philosophies or matters related to law that will assist you in your day-to-day routines and how you're of service to others and how you can improve this for yourself, cementing a new lifestyle into place. Then on the 4th of November, when we have the new moon, the focus is entirely on setting up this new day-to-day routine and how you perceive yourself to be of service to other people. And the request here is to be more independent in spending time behind the scenes and in more spiritual environments, places that relate to escaping from the world where there's more imagination and intuition is very important to you. And it's the great awakening that you understand, the sense of freedom that you get from connecting to spirit or the unknown, is what will help you to rectify your health matters, any disease matters, anything to do with this day-to-day routine that hasn't been working up to this point. This is really a time for you to reinvent how you want to move forward. And then by the partial lunar eclipse, which is on the 19th of November, you will have even more so an influence and desire to want to create something very beautiful behind the scenes in an isolated environment where you connect to God, spirit, the angels, anything that's not tangible, music, dancing, so that you can improve your day-to-day routine and health matters. Cancers, you're coming out of a time period where the focus was on home and family and all matters related to location of living and setting up your home. And you're now going into a kind of easy breezy part of your life for the next month, which is related more to having fun, going on holidays, expressing your love, possibly spending time with children or being a little bit more creative in your projects and expressing yourself in a very joyous way. Anything to do with your place of living, perhaps you've been gardening, fixing things around the home and family has been your focus. And this is now changing from the 23rd of October. The sun moves into an area of your chart which has everything to do with having fun and being creative and possibly working with children or falling pregnant if you want to, or doing it could be a pregnancy of a creative project of sorts related to holidays and having fun and relaxing. And the Saturn squaring Uranus that you've been experiencing since February this year on the 17th of February, then again on the 14th of June, and we have another last one on the 24th of December when Saturn and Uranus in the sky are squaring each other. For you, this is everything to do with your hopes and dreams. And it's organizing your finances and the resources you receive from others. This could be emotional, spiritual, financial, physical, to such a way that they're more stable and there's discipline around that. And it is related to what your hopes and dreams are for going forward. And with that, around this Scorpio season, 23rd of October to 21st of November, the focus is really on how can I be a resource to others, which others and who else is a resource to me. This could include matters related to taxes, investments, inheritances, partners, monies. It's a time to reconstruct and kind of master this area of your life in relation to society, groups of friends, friendships, and hopes and dreams that you have, where people give you love so that you can receive it versus you having to give too much of yourself. It's about being valued for the input that you give and to receive accolades and be rewarded for your efforts. Then on the 30th of November, Mars moves into this area of your life, which is all and everything to do with fun, being romantic, being a lover, creating a new project. And it's the sun that squares off Saturn on that day as well, which allows you to kind of embed these things and cement them into your life as a regular form of longevity and routine. And there's a sense of authority. Which of your friends or groups of people is paying you, let's say, for these creative projects that you make, or who's giving you the support that you need from society so that you can have a little bit more fun and be a lot more creative. Then on the 4th of November, in the new moon phase, where Sun, Moon, and Mars are all in this area related to holidays and having fun and spending time with the children or wanting to get pregnant, be it with a baby or another project, there is a great excitement because something in the matters related to friends or groups of societies or your hopes and ideals are changing. There's a sense of being more independent and innovative in the friends that you have. You may have friends coming or going that haven't fitted into creating lots of fun in your life. This could be you falling in love with somebody and all the excitement that goes with that, or falling in love with a project, or rediscovering something about your children that is inspiring and new and innovative. And then on the partial lunar eclipse, which is on the 19th of November, this theme is being highlighted again, possibly women or the public at large as female friends, or in a very creative way, because the moon is in Taurus in a very sensual way, may help you have more fun and maybe returning all the love and the playfulness that you are giving. And you'll be a lot more assertive in asking what it is that you want related to fun and creative projects and holidays, and how it is that you want to be a lover to somebody else. You will have the support that you require from friends for you to experience this. So let's go on to Leo. For all the Leos, the focus for you has been on paperwork, communication, siblings, your immediate environment, thinking, talking, business matters. And for the Scorpio season, so for all the Leos, you are coming out of a time period where contracts, writing, commerce, commuting, matters related to your neighbors or siblings has been the focus. And from the 23rd of October onwards, the focus for all the Leos goes into home and family life and the location where you are living. So you could be gardening, redecorating your home, moving. Focus is on home and family matters. The Saturn-Uranus backdrop of this year, which started on February the 17th, again was active June the 14th and continues to be active until its final dance of Saturn and Uranus on the 24th of December, is for you, dear Leos, everything to do with your status out in the world and how you act out into the world, your career, what makes you feel successful. And there is an exciting new outlook for you in terms of how you could be more independent in your career. And there's a partnership which is very reliable and stable and committed that is activating this process within you to become more freedom loving in terms of this independence and this innovation about how it is that you do business. On the 30th of November, when Mars also enters this area of your life, there'll be a lot of activities about home life, renovations, moving, purchasing property, a lot of things around the home that has to be sorted out. And this will be happening in relationship to the partnerships that you have. So this is probably a marriage partner or a live-in lover, or possibly a business partner whom you're buying property with. The focus is here on creating a home and creating something that you can cement in for the long haul. With Saturn in Uranus, this is a fantastic opportunity to build up something that's going to last another 29 years or so. Then on the 4th of November, we're doing the Sun and the Moon and Mars. This is the new moon on the 4th of November, all inside the area related to family and home life for you. And this is truly a time where you can be inspired to figure out how can you be more innovative and freedom loving in terms of your career and your status out in the world. There's a lot of excitement around how things could happen in your status in the world and what your reputation is. And this is very much linked into your home and family life. And then on the 19th of November, when we have the partial lunar eclipse, this is highlighted even further, and there's a sense of sensuality around home life and beauty and all the good things that the moon in Taurus brings to this area in your life. Perhaps a mother's visiting, perhaps a daughter's being born, perhaps there's just a big celebration around home and family life. And this is very much allowing you to be a lot more independent in how you shine out into the world. So enjoy this very beautiful time. Let's have a look at the Virgos. The Virgo focus has been on your finances, your self-esteem, and organizing all your possessions and anything to do with financial investments. And from the 23rd of October onwards, you're moving into a phase that is related a lot more to business, to communications, to talking, teaching, siblings, your immediate environment, your neighborhoods, and a lot of paperwork and communications. So the backdrop for you, dear Virgos, of the Saturn-Uranus square, which happened on the February the 17th, June the 14th, and the last one happens on December the 24th, is occurring in an area in your life that relates to your day-to-day routines and your health matters. And also belief systems. There's a sense of awakening and freedom around studies, higher learning. Either you're teaching something new, or you want to study something new, or you're traveling to a new place. And this in a great way is affecting your day-to-day routine and how you are of service to other people. On the 30th of November, we have Mars entering Scorpio in this area of your life that has everything to do with writing and communication. So if you want to be writing something or signing documents from the 30th of November on, you're entrenching something that will give you the sense of longevity. If it's a new neighborhood that you're moving in, or a situation with a neighbor or a sibling that you'd like to resolve, from the 30th of November onwards, you'll be able to cement and structure matters into your day-to-day routine and how you are of service to other people, and your health matters in a way that will give long-term results for at least the next 29 years or so, because this is how long Saturn takes to get back to this area in your life. Then on the 4th of November, we have the new moon also in this area of your life. So this is a fantastic time to relax and let the inspiration flow. This is a wonderful time to look at your thinking, to see how can you communicate better? How could you teach better? How can you commute better? What kind of paperwork systems can you put into place to sort out things a little bit more? And how does this relate to what it is that you want to teach, or what it is that you're currently studying, or any matters related to foreigners or overseas or travel? This is certainly a time on the 4th of November to be contemplating what liberation and freedoms you can get through travel, or philosophies, or spiritual insights from foreigners, or spiritual courses that you're doing that can help you with your communication skills, and possibly matters related to neighbors or siblings or your own business. Now, the full moon on the 19th of November is occurring with Mercury and Mars conjunct to the Sun, also in Scorpio. So this is an area in your life that is related to communications, and the moon in Taurus in opposition will really highlight how teaching or philosophies or matters related to religion or foreigners can assist you and awaken you in becoming a better version of a speaker, a communicator, a written document that you have to sort out. So there will be that inspiration that comes through with the full moon, and with it being a partial lunar eclipse, we're going into eclipse season. This means there could be a lot more synchronistic events that just happen as the heavens open during the eclipse season. Enjoy. For the Libras, the focus has been on your physical body and on your health and on your appearance and how you radiate out into the world up until the 23rd of October. And after that, up until the 21st of November, it goes into an area in your chart that relates to your self-esteem, your self-worth, what your values are, how you organize your finances and your possessions, the things that you own. And this is happening in the backdrop of the Saturn square Uranus, which is happening for you in an area that is related to expressing yourself. How can you become more giving and more loving and express yourself joyously? What is it that you like to do in terms of expression? Is it a creative project? And if so, what type of creative project? Or is it matters related to children or holidays that you are sorting out? And the Uranus is in an area of your chart that is to do with resources from other people. And Uranus wants you to have changes and be more independent and more innovative in thinking of how can you be a resource to others and how can people be a resource to you. This is spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental. What kind of resource are you for people, and are they such a resource to you as well? This is the backdrop, right, of the focus from your physical body into your financial and value system for this month ahead, the Scorpio season. On the 30th of November, Mars goes into Scorpio, and this is in an area in your life that has everything to do with your values, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your finances. This is a fantastic time to be assertive, powerful, and dynamic in sorting out what are your value systems. How do you want your money and possessions to be managed? And at the same time, we have the Sun squaring Saturn on that day. Saturn is in an area of your chart related to expressing yourself. How are you a lover to other persons? How can you consolidate your creativity and holidays? So this would be a situation where your value systems and your possessions that you own are very much related to how you have fun, or related to being a lover to somebody else, or a romantic pursuit, or matters related to children or any kind of creative project. And the finances to do so will come into place with Mars coming into that area. It's almost like the sense of I'm powerful and dynamic, and I value myself, and with that I'm allowing myself to have some fun, or I'm allowing myself to express myself in such a way. Then on the 4th of November, when we have the new moon, the focus continues on what are your value systems, how are you managing your money and your possessions, and the sense of wanting to be free from the resources that you receive from others, or have the resources come in a more innovative, new kind of way towards you, the financial, the spiritual, the emotional, the physical resources that you receive are going to be more exciting, and there'll be less stability around it, and then more of a sense of freedom. And then on the 19th of November, we have the Sun moving into Scorpio, into this area together with Mercury and Mars, that has everything to do with your value system and sorting out your finances. And as the moon opposes this in an area of your chart, it highlights how you can connect to the public, or to women, or to a sense of sensuality and beauty that you can receive from others through the sense of wanting to be more confident and having a value system around self-esteem. So this is going to be highlighted on the 19th of November. And because it is a partial lunar eclipse, remember that this is when the heavens, we're more connected to the divine, and this is when more synchronistic events happen. So please enjoy those. So for the Scorpios, you've been in hiding in the last month. The Sun was during Libra season illuminating endings, illuminating situations where your shadow side was coming to the fore, a slightly more reserved time for you, where you might have felt a little bit contemplative or withdrawn, or possibly even had insights into what open enemies are about. It has been a time of contemplations and endings. And now, as of the 23rd of October, you're moving into a position where you come to the fore. What you need to radiate out in the world and to shine out in the world is suddenly of prime importance and the focus for the month ahead. And you've been living with this backdrop of matters related to home and family that need to be restructured, and very exciting new things happening around relationships that haven't been particularly stable. However, that gave you the sense of independence and freedom and innovation and newness, and even a little bit of chaos is the backdrop. So this happened on the 17th of February, again happens on the 14th of June, and the last one is the 24th of December. There's a sense of having to restructure home and family life and place of living in relationship to an exciting relationship, or a relationship that allows for a lot of freedom or demands a lot of innovation. This is the great awakening as to how can this relationship fit into the home life that you would like to have, or how can the relationship create the home life that you want for the next 29 years. On the 30th of November, when Mars moves into Scorpio, and on the same day, the Sun also squares Saturn, the focus is completely on your physical body, your health, your persona. Have you done all the tests that you need to do? This is a fantastic time to make the dynamic, empowering changes for your physical body. And this may very much relate to you getting what it is that you need in home and family life. So there could be authorities in the home and family life that are disciplined and stable and very structured, that would allow you to be more of who you are and want to be in terms of your health, in terms of your personality around the home life. This is like you're starting to shine in your own home. And for the 4th of November, which is when the new moon occurs, you will have the sun and the moon and Mars all in this area of your life that relates to your persona, how you look, your physical health, your radiance out into the world. And this is very much in relation to big changes that relate to independence and freedom from a relationship or within a relationship. It's on that axis of me, myself, Scorpio, and the other, which is where the excitement is coming through and the changes that are allowed in this time. So this could be the sudden unexpected person that you meet, or the ending of a relationship, or the beginning of a relationship. But either way, it will allow you to feel a lot more independent and free, and to be more truthful and more authentic about who it is that you are. Then on the 19th of November, we have the partial lunar eclipse occurring. So this is a time when the heavens open up and there's more divine connection to the environment. There's a lot more synchronicity and a huge kind of support. Life seems to feel a little bit faster and things fall into place. And this place is an enormous amount of love that comes through with a lot of sensuality and beauty from the 7th house. Could possibly be fantastic female friends or the public at large. There's a sense of home is through the partner, and a sense of being able to be assertive about what it is that you want for yourself within this partnership. Good luck and enjoy, dear Scorpios. Let me move on to the next sign. So for all the Sagittarians, you've had quite a social life and been out and about, mingling with new people and making friends. And you're now going into a phase from the 23rd of October on, which is more reclusive. It's a time that you feel a little bit isolated. Maybe you want to be on your own. There's a sense of self-renouncing the world to be on your own. So this could mean that you are working very much from behind the scenes, or possibly you want to connect to spirit and soul a little bit, and you need inspiration, which you can only find when you're on your own. The backdrop of the Saturn-Uranus square, which has happened on the 17th of February, on the 14th of June, and the last one is on the 24th of December, for you is occurring in an area of your life that relates to how you communicate and how you think, possibly got to do with siblings or your immediate neighborhood, or how you commute. And the changes that are requested or from the universe for you, where there's a sense of liberation and freedom, are matters related to your day-to-day routine and your health matters. There's a sense of, let me break free from this and that or the other routine, or let me become more independent in how it is that I am of service to other people. Let me become more innovative in my day-to-day routine and how I am of service to other people, and how I manage my health. This is very prevalent for you over the Scorpio season time. On the 30th of November, Mars moves into Scorpio, highlighting even further the sense of a completion, of a sense of wanting to be on your own and finding inspiration through being alone or feeling isolated, and being quite determined and assertive in spending time alone so that you can work from behind the scenes. This could possibly also relate to matters from foreigners or overseas, things that aren't visible to you. And it is on this day of the 30th of November that the Sun squaring Saturn very much has the influence of wanting you to communicate in a new way, in a different way, in a way that you can set up structures for the next 29 years, a sense of consolidation in terms of how it is that you can work from behind the scenes, being studious or teaching or feeling a little bit isolated. However, it could be matters related to foreign or overseas, things that aren't visible to you here, and how committing to these through teaching, through writing, through communications, through paperwork and administration, you can then actually find the sense of empowerment from working from behind the scenes. And it's on the 4th of November, during the new moon, that you will really feel like you need some time alone to let go of old ways and find the inspiration in terms of how it is that you can change and liberate yourself from your day-to-day routine, matters regarding your health, and also how you are of service to people. By liberating these aspects of your life, there will be the sense of letting go of old ways, possibly, yeah, just the end of a cycle, this realization it's time to let go of the material world, it's a time to self-renounce the things of the world so that you can become more independent and free. Then on the 19th of November, we have the partial lunar eclipse, and being an eclipse season, things happen a lot faster and are a lot more synchronistic. And it is in an area of your life where the Sun and Mercury and Mars will be that will really make you feel isolated, alone, a sense of wanting to be on your own, looking at who are your open enemies. Why is it that you would like to be alone or self-renounce the world? Why is it that a certain cycle feels like it's coming to an end, while a new one that is more immersed in spirituality and connecting to that which is not material is being awakened? And this can be done through changing a diet or your day-to-day routine, or the service that you provide to others, specifically to women, in a very sensual and creative way. There'll be inspirations around that by the 19th of November. I'm wishing you well and have a fantastic Scorpio season time. So let me move on to Capricorn. For the Capricorns, your focus has been on work, career, how you can be successful and what your actions are out into the world. And from the 23rd of October onwards until the 21st of November, the focus during Scorpio season is about groups of people, friends and society, what your hopes and dreams are, what your ideals are, how you can earn an income from others, and how other people love you. Now, this is happening at the backdrop of the Saturn-Uranus square, which happens 17th of February, 14th of June, and occurs once more on the 24th of December this year, where you are restructuring your self-esteem, your finances, your self-worth, and your value systems in such a way that you can experience a little bit more joy, have more fun, go on holidays a little bit more, be romantic, start up new projects, possibly have a child or adopt a child, or spend more time with children. And it's on the 30th of November where Mars moves into Scorpio while the Sun squares Saturn on the same day, that this sense of receiving an income or being appreciated for the connections that you have out in the world and for the hard work that you provide to the world will be rewarded and received. There'll be a sense of accolades or possibly new friends. This could be male because it's Mars, friends, powerful, dynamic, assertive male friends coming into your life. There's a sense of wanting to reach out to friends and making connections with new groups of friends. And this is very much in relationship to your self-esteem and your value system and what you believe is a way for you to manage your possessions, and something that would make you feel like you can be more confident. Now, on the 4th of November, at the new moon, all the planets are gathering in this environment of what are your hopes and dreams and ideals? What are the society and the community that you want to connect to? How can you interact with society at large in a way that allows you to be innovative and independent in terms of how you give love of yourself? There's a sense of freedom about creating new projects and expressing yourself in a way that is innovative and freedom-loving and new and exciting. And then on the 19th of November, we have the full moon, which is a partial lunar eclipse occurring in an area of your chart, which is related to these new friends and dynamic, assertive, powerful figures that you are meeting, or the ideals that you have that are powerful and dynamic going forward. And there is a sense of either connecting with females that are very sensual and beautiful, or perhaps the public at large appreciates a creative project that you have, or maybe you have phenomenal, beautiful time with your children, or possibly you're going on a wonderful holiday. The energies is very much around having fun and expressing yourself, being a creative lover, giving of yourself, and being appreciated by a group of people out in society who really enjoy this. And with Venus having just gone into Capricorn, there's also beautiful trine towards the sign of Taurus, which has everything to do with beauty and longevity and maintenance and being essential and being like a farmer, being earthy and being connected, but also being incredibly creative and loyal to the experience of sensuality and value systems. So let's look at Aquarius. For all the Aquarians, the focus for you up until the 23rd of October has very much been about philosophies, belief systems, spirituality, matters related to foreign travel or foreigners, possibly legal matters. And as of the 23rd of October, the energy for you for the Scorpio season goes into an area of your life that was related to achievement, success, your reputation out in the world, what your actions out into the world are that make you perceive that you are a successful person. So this could relate to your career or simply your reputation out in the world. For you, the backdrop of the 17th of February, the 14th of June, and again the 24th of December of the Saturn square Uranus backdrop of this year's energies, it's very much related to your own persona, how you discipline yourself, what structures you put into place that are stable and reliable and follow with rules and regulations so that you can build up something over the next 29 years related to home and family life. The square of the Uranus is in an area about relating to family life and place of living. And with Uranus in this area, there's constant changes and there's a need for independence and freedom and innovation. So perhaps you're relocating, perhaps you are moving, perhaps you are setting up your own home to become independent. Perhaps if you're in a relationship with someone, there's changes to be made so that you can stay independent and excited within the relationship, and most of all, an individual around the home and family life. Then on the 30th of November, when Mars goes into Scorpio, the focus is truly about your status out in the world and your career. And this is a time where you can be incredibly powerful, assertive, and successful. And there's a square of the Sun to Saturn on the 30th of November, which is related to home and family life. So it is almost as though if you get your foundations in home and family life structured and cemented into a place where you feel you can live and be at and feel secure at for the next 29 years, your status out in the world will just kick off and be incredibly empowering for you. A lot of activity around that. Then on the 4th of November, we have the new moon, and this is happening for you in an area related to your career, your reputation, your actions out in the world. This is a time for you to hang back a little bit around the 4th of November, spend a day or two becoming really innovative in terms of listening to inspirations and intentions that are coming to you from spirit as to what it is that you want to do to be successful out in the world, to look at the status that you have out in the world, to be a sense of your best version of who you are. And this is very much tied into home and family life and being independent and free. Then on the 19th of November, we have the partial lunar eclipse, which is a time when the heavens open up. There's a lot of divine energy and synchronicities and things fall into place. And for you, dear Aquarians, this is very much the focus on home and family life. A lot of sensuality, possibly your mother is at home or the public visits your home. There's a lot of sense of home life and family life in the home, and a very beautiful home at that, because the moon is in Taurus, and it's almost like seducing you in a hedonistic way to sensuality, saying, I want my home to be sensual and beautiful and long lasting. And this, of course, is still in with the energy flow of the opposition to what is your status out in the world. And you'll be very verbal because Mercury and Mars and the Sun are all in an area of your life that relate to what is the best version of who it is that you are, and how does that relate to the sensuality of home and family life, or matters are related to mother in the home life. Wishing you a beautiful Scorpio season, Aquarians. I'm going to move on to Pisces. So for all the Pisceans, the last month up until the 23rd of October in Libra season was a focus on how you can be a resource to others and how other people are resources to you. But after the 23rd of October, you're going into an area of your life that focuses on spirituality, on philosophies, on overseas travel, on foreigners, matters related to legal issues or courses that you're studying or teaching. And this is falling and occurring at a backdrop of the Saturn square Uranus, which happened on the 17th of Feb, the 14th of June, and again on the 24th of December it will occur. That is very much to do with how you communicate and how you restructure time alone for you to give up the material world and renounce all the material things so that you can connect more with spirit. This could mean through spiritual activities, prayers, yogas, anything where you feel isolated and alone. Walks alone at the beach, for instance, would be very good for you. This would very much help you restructuring your thought processes and how you communicate and what it is that you want to study, or possibly even the neighborhood that you want to live in, or how you commute day to day to work, how it is that you conduct your business and your paperwork every day. There's a sense that feeling a little bit isolated and removing yourself is a good way to get on top of your thinking, possibly through meditations, possibly catching up on time to do your filing. There's a need for you to be behind the scenes so that you can connect with the paperwork and the thinking and the communications and matters related to siblings and your immediate environments. Then on the 30th of November, when Mars enters the sign of Scorpio and the Sun squares Saturn, there is this opportunity for you really to sink into matters related to the foreign and the overseas and any spiritual studies or philosophies that you're engaging with. Either you're teaching them or you're traveling overseas, and this new sense of belief system is assisting you with how you think and how you communicate and how you teach, and possibly relationships with siblings or even your immediate environment are being propelled forward through the dynamism and the power and assertion of the Mars feeling so empowered with the belief systems that you have, or with matters related to foreign or overseas, or the studies that you're doing. And this will really help you with all matters related to thinking and writing, communications, teaching, and your neighborhood and siblings. And then on the 4th of November, we have the new moon occurring, which is conjunct the moon. The sun and moon are conjunct Mars, and this again is happening in matters related to thinking, writing, communications, day-to-day commuting, foreigners, traveling overseas, spiritual courses. The same theme is highlighted, and this is a time for you to reconsider how it is that you're thinking, talking, studying, and listen to the inspirations and intentions that come up around the 4th of November before you start acting up on it, because this is a waxing new cycle. And from those new thoughts and inspirations and study courses or matters related to foreigners that begin around the 4th of November, you will feel the highlights by the 19th of November, when the full moon occurs, which is a partial lunar eclipse, meaning that we're now in eclipse season. Things fall into place a lot easier. There's a sense of synchronicity that occurs. And for you, this is very much related to being very essential in your communications, being a lot more feminine and gentle in your teachings. Matters related to siblings may very much improve. Also co-workers and business and filing. There's a sense of sensuality and beauty about how you speak and express yourself in relationship to this sense of overseas matters, foreign travel, foreigners, courses that you're studying. Perhaps you sign up for, something to do with beauty, with the moon being in Taurus on that day, or something to do with femininity, or creating food, or thinking or writing about such matters, or enjoying them with your siblings or neighbors. So I wish you a very beautiful full moon partial lunar eclipse and a very beautiful Scorpio season ahead. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on the Scorpio season YouTube. If you enjoyed the YouTube, please remember to subscribe or ring the bell or push the like button. And I wish you a beautiful Scorpio season. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.